Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that I think is worth discussing with you guys, especially for those of you guys who are playing the game with the AD. In other words, you're trying to buy watches at retail price from the authorized dealer. So the topic for today is that in order to get the steel sports watches that you want, which of these two options do you think is better? Buying from a single AD or buying from multiple ADs? Before we begin with this video, remember to click subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notification on new videos to drop. I'll be talking mostly in general about watches, cars, and anything around collections. Okay, let's move on to the topic for today. Before we begin comparing buying from a single AD versus buying from multiple ADs, I think it's best for us to make a few assumptions. First of all, we have to assume that you don't have an unlimited budget, because if you do, you can actually just go to multiple ADs and just spend however much you want. The second assumption is that when we say we're buying from multiple ADs, let's just limit it to 2 or 3. We don't want to stretch ourselves too thin and we want to say buying from 4 or 5 or even 6 different ADs. And thirdly, the assumption that we're making is that we're just basically discussing the idea that we're either putting all our eggs into a single basket or trying to hedge your bet with multiple ADs. If you're not familiar with how the ADs work, what is buying from the AD, here's a card to the top to my other video discussing what is this game that we're playing with the authorized dealer. Or if you want tips or advices to get the steel sports model watches from your authorized dealer, here's another card to the top. To tackle this discussion, I've actually considered the situation for myself, whereby do I stick by a single AD or maybe try to engage another one? Because obviously we all want the Daytonas, the GMTs, the Submariners, the Nautilus, the Aquanauts, watches that people think are hot at the moment. For my own personal case, I currently have a single AD that I do buy from, but what I realize is that every time when I'm realistically trying to queue for a watch, within the hot categories, and I do get them after waiting for a few months. But the thing that I realize is that whenever I'm actually waiting for the watches to arrive, I'm not able to queue up for another watch. I do have to commit to the watch that I stated to my AD. But the thing is that you never know when the watches actually arrive. It might take 6 months, 8 months, or even a year. So whenever I queue up for a single watch, I'm not able to actually queue up on the waiting list for another watch, which ties back to the discussion for today. So if you consider between those two, whether buying from a single AD or buying from multiple ADs, I'm just going to state some benefits that both sides have. When you buy from a single AD, you normally get to be on the waiting list for just one watch at a time. Basically, it's just the most efficient way to get the watches that you want. But you do have to only queue up for one watch. The second is that you're most likely to qualify for some of the hottest steel sports model watches and be near the top of the waiting list because you are concentrating all your spending onto a single AD. And the third point is that the more you spend, the more your AD will treat you like a VIP. Because, as the years go by, your buying history is just going to grow larger and larger. But when you're buying from multiple ADs, these are some points you should also consider. Firstly, when you're spending at few different ADs, you are obviously able to get onto more different waiting lists, at different places. Having multiple waiting lists at different ADs may be able to get you the watches that you want faster. Because, you never know what kind of stock different ADs may receive. The second point is that you can compare between multiple ADs and see the difference on who is providing a better service to you. Maybe down the road, you can then decide to focus more spending onto the specific AD that you like. The third point is that, when you have multiple ADs, you do have more choices for different stocks, not just the steel sports model, but other models within the brand itself. Alright, coming to the end of the video, I guess I've laid down some points arguing for both sides, whether to buy from a single AD or buying from multiple ADs. Let me know what you think. Comment down below and tell me your experience of, whether you're buying from a single AD or multiple ones. Which option do you yourself go for? And maybe you can share with me, what do you think? For me personally, I think it may be worth for me to explore a second AD, just trying to expand a bit of my options, a bit of my choices of watches, and also trying to speed up some of the desired watches that I'm trying to get. Once again, thanks for watching this video. Appreciate any thoughts that you may leave down below. And I'll try to catch you guys next time. See ya.